And so in this climate, the regulators have been very vigilant in trying to unearth issues. The history of our firm is one of excellence. Excellence in service, excellence in communicating with our clients, excellence in being fair and honest. One of our mottos is, do no harm. The charges that were leaked are very egregious, but I can assure you that every single one of those charges will be dismissed. Unfortunately, this information was leaked out. And I think because of the climate, the regulators or the auditor kind of overreached. They assumed certain things, even though information was given that would prove or disprove their thinking process. We have, in all situations, dealt with our clients and the public fairly, honestly, and without any ulterior motives of trying to deceive the regulators or the public. Now, these regulations that were put in place were coming for a long time. And the violations that have been alleged to occur didn't occur in the way that they were presented. So this morning, I'm hoping that we can set aside some of the biases. I know you're probably invaded by what has happened. We've seen so many issues that have taken place in the financial industry, and many people are very skeptical. Many people have lost their entire 401k or most of their 401k due to individuals doing things that is damaging to the general public and to investors. We have heard of the Bernie Madoffs. But in our company, we do not have control over our clients' funds. Think of it this way. In order to do what he did, he had to have what the industry called custody. Custody means he has control over that money, and he can use that money for anything that he wants to. In our case, we do not have control over the money. Let me give you an example. You know about brokers. If you want to purchase a home, you have a broker. And you may have an escrow account that goes to the bank. The broker processes the paperwork, the bank keeps the money. That's similar to how we operate. We work through a broker to facilitate purchasing or trading of securities. We do not control the money. It's kept by what is called a custodian or a bank, in our case, Pershing. So with that backdrop, it's impossible for us to take funds from clients' accounts. The audit started in 2009, June of 2000, and it lasted an entire year. The auditors requested over 46 separate documents for 200 clients for 3 consecutive years. That's a tremendous amount of paperwork that we had to deliver to the auditors, which we did. It took them a year to go through that. They communicated with us, and on several occasions remarked of how they liked the way that we invoiced or we charged our clients. We did not overcharge them. And to get this information now was quite surprising. This should be resolved in a very short space of time, I hope. And all of these charges will be dismissed. I'm now open for questions. Yes, sir.
Mr. Moore,
Yes, sir.
you stood here this morning and you explained to us that information was leaked to the media. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, let me understand this carefully. If you have a container of paint and the container has a hole and the paint leaks out, what was in the container is really paint and that leaked out. Is that correct?
I guess.
So, if information from your company leaked out, it has to be the truth that leaked out. Is that correct?
Not necessarily.
So
What's the source of the leak? Where is the leak coming from?
You
It wasn't
said
from
that
our company.
the information was leaked from your company, if I remember
I said
correctly.
information was leaked.
Right.
I'm contending that it's not from us.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that. I thought information was leaked from your company.
It was leaked about the charges that was brought. I didn't say what source it came from. It wasn't from us.
Well, we're assuming that the information came from within your company.
No,
A
it
whistleblower presented the
No,
information
it did
that
not.
blew everything out of proportion.
No, I can assure it didn't come from us.
Well, can you explain to us where the information came from?
Mr. Moore, taking into consideration the comment that my colleague just did, what were the charges now that this information has been leaked, and what is the company planning to do moving forward?
We will provide the information that we have already provided to the regulators. But this time, rather than having one regulator assess what took place, there will be someone at a higher level that will take a look at this information. For example, the charge of overcharging our clients. We presented the information to prove, but they disallowed that information. They said, we don't like that information. I think it was a situation where a person was trying to overreach, maybe to make a name for themselves, I don't know. I saw a hand over here.
Yeah, Mr. Moore, I'm not a reporter, but I was asked to come in as a guest.
Yeah.
Because here, I have an invoice, my latest invoice for January, for a certificate of deposit that I have with your company for $60,000. In the bill, you're charging me $15,000. That's to manage my little certificate of deposit. So I don't think that leaks are untrue. Can you address that?
I can assure you, sir, that if you receive that bill, a bill such as that, it was not from our company.
Says it here, MFP invoice.
Not from our company. Maybe it's a scam, I don't know, but that would not come from our company. We do not charge our clients for certificates of deposits. So that would be an impossibility.
You stated you got accolades from the auditors.
Yes.
saying that you guys did a great job.
That was a surprising thing.
Is that a public information? Can we access that?
No, that's not public information. That's, after our discussion, they made that comment. So we thought that we were okay, we were doing a good job. They approved of what we were doing. And then to get this information was a shock to our system. On the issue of the invoice, they said we didn't send an invoice because we missed a piece of information that was supposed to be on the invoice. The calculation of the fees. There is supposed to be a formula. It's a new regulation. Once we discovered it, we corrected it. But because it wasn't on there, the auditor said, well, you did not send it.
Mr. Moore, you said that your company has no control over the client's funds. Does that mean that you are not responsible for the funds?
I'm responsible for getting the funds to the custodian. Once the funds is in the hands of the custodian, I do not have control except to purchase securities. And if the client wants money, it has to be sent back to the bank account of the client. And it has to be the account that was used to establish the custodial account in the first place. Thank you very much.